Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Into the Podcast. I'm your host, Sam, and I'm joined each and every week by the beautiful co-host, Ryan. Say hello, Ryan.
Hey up, me duck.
How are you, pet?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, my friend. We are not in the same house.
We're not. We're very far apart.
We are. It makes me sad, but at least I can still see your beautiful bald head.
The light is really reflecting off of it right now.
It is, and there will be video for this because we have to record a video for me to pull the audio off to make a podcast. So I may as well bang the video online. I mean, you can see like my clothes in the background there. There's my belts. Look.
Oh yeah, that's a nice belt.
Because you did the smart thing and moved your washing out the way for the video.
I did. As soon as I said, "Are we actually going to do a video for this?" And you're like, "Yeah, why not?" I moved all the washing that was drying behind me. Just shoved it to the side. And now I'm like, "Oh yeah, look, there's my cool tour poster from Johnny Flynn that got signed, and my record player, and it looks quite cool and fancy, but like out of shot, it's an absolute shit tip."
But you got your fancy blue Yeti mic there.
I have.
This is going to make a lot of noise, but I've got my fancy. Look at that fancy new microphone.
That is very fancy.
That is a HyperX Quadcast, mate.
That's a lot of words that probably mean it's very good.
It was expensive. Oh, in fact, let me tell you what happened with this microphone, mate. So, as you know, I don't sleep very well, do I?
No.
So, last night, struggled to fall asleep. So, early hours in the morning when I did fall asleep. But I was off today, so I was kind of hoping maybe a bit of a lay-in. Because I always wake up early, even if I can just sort of like wake up early, drop in and out of sleep. 5:30 this morning, mate, I was on the phone to Amazon Prime.
Right.
Not Amazon Prime, to Amazon.
I was going to say, okay, yeah.
Because some fucker at 3:30 this morning decided to hack my account and just get refunds for everything I've bought recently onto a prepaid gift card and just started buying fucking
no.
FIFA fucking cards and Apple cards and yeah. Honestly, I woke up, mate, at whatever time it was, about 5:10. I checked my phone quick to see what time it was, and yeah, there's just about 100 notifications. They've changed all of my details. They've got rid of my bank. Luckily, I don't think they got my bank details. It looks like what they did was get rid of it, because if they get rid of it, it all goes into like a prepaid wallet type card thing, and then they used that to buy a load of stuff. But fuck me, 5:30 in the morning on the phone to Amazon because some fucking twat waffle decided, let's just rob a load of money.
Oh, fucking bastards, aren't they? I had something very similar last week. It was obviously sleep patterns all over the place with a newborn. So, and I think it was about 12:10, something like that. And I got a notification come through on from my bank through NatWest, and it was like, you have just spent £13.25 on Amazon. And I was like, no, I fucking haven't. I definitely have not bought anything off of Amazon. Went on it, and then it was like, you've ordered from www.amazon.uk.co. I was like, some fuckers got my card, haven't they?
Yeah.
And because that's like literally not even the correct address. I was like, fuck's sake. Straight on, checked Amazon, definitely not ordered anything. And then cancelled my card, pain in the arse. Had to ring the corruption team in the morning, when they opened at like 8:00. And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, did you pre-order a book from Amazon?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I did. I did." Yeah. I was like, "Why is the address wrong then?" It's like in all capitals as well. I was like, "It looks dodgy." And he was just like, "Yeah, for some reason this company that's going through Amazon, all the addresses are turned up weird." And he's like, "We've been inundated with people thinking they're getting scammed this week, but it's just Amazon." I was like, fuck's sake, so I cancelled my card. I mean, at least I hadn't been scammed, but equally I had to cancel my card for no reason. And it's a pain in the arse having to put your card back on everything.
Well, it is. I've had to do it twice this year. Once because I did get scammed for a couple of £100. Another one because I lost my card, which, if you remember rightly, I found in my bag when I was working with you the other week.
Yeah, I do remember that,
my bag. I was like, fuck's sake. Because it's just irritating, isn't it? Like, you go a week without a card, and it's fine. Like, you can sort money, but it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Why? Just people.
But why? Just, I don't have a lot of money. You don't just leave me alone. You don't need to scam my pence.
If you listen to this and you're into scamming people, fuck you.
Exactly.
Too right. Face, I hate you all.
I know. But just going back to that Amazon thing, so I purchased the pre-order of the book I got was actually a comic book, and it's really cool. I've still not read it, and it's a Marvel one. So you know how they do the What If series,
Yeah.
and like just like random scenarios. But this one's for aliens. So one of my favorite films of all time, and it's one of the characters from the film. I don't know if you remember it, but the guy called Carter Burke, who's like he's like the businessman, the one that he betrays Ripley and like tries to get him like the aliens inserted him like, and like the most hated character from the film.
Yeah.
More hated than the actual like xenomorphs. It's like, you fucking scumbag. Well, anyway, he's wrote this comic book. And it's like, what if Carter Burke was actually the good guy?
All right,
and what
that's
if
pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like, what if he survived? So I'm really excited for it. So as soon as I saw that, Paul Reiser is the actor who plays Carter Burke. He's in loads of stuff. Most people probably know him more recently from Stranger Things. He plays Dr. Sam something. He's the doctor that comes in the second one.
Yeah.
Actually, the good guy, like quite a good guy. But yeah, I just thought that's a really cool concept. I love the idea of the what if books anyway, or the shows, because it gives you so much creative freedom. Because you can license to do whatever and bring in like characters that are perhaps had a smaller role and give them alternate, a new lease of life. So, and the fact that he's done it about his own character, because he's probably sick of the shit he's got over the years, like about being the most hated guy. It's like, well, fuck you guys, I'm gonna write a book where I'm actually the good guy. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
the what ifs, because there's the what if cartoons for those of you that haven't seen them on Disney. Really good. I don't think they pulled it off in the second season though. Second or third? How many seasons was there? 2 in.
I think there's 2, isn't there?
Yeah, wasn't a fan of the second season. There was a couple of good ones. But
yeah, I don't even know if I watched it. I've really gone off the Marvel boil. Like I've really jumped off the bandwagon. It's like I've not watched half of the TV shows. I'm trying to think what the latest films are as well. There's not been many out.
No, there aren't. I definitely haven't followed any of the TV shows. But then I've kind of been the same with Star Wars recently. I didn't watch Acolytes. I didn't watch.
Yeah, I didn't watch Acolyte based on the horrendous reviews it got.
I know a couple of people watched it that said it wasn't as horrendous as people are saying. Like, they said some of the stuff, like, fucking about with Jedi Origins, and he said there's like this bit where this character picks up a lightsaber or something and it's purple, but as soon as they touch it, it starts turning red, and he's like, that's not how lightsabers work.
Yeah,
like we know how lightsabers work. That's not how they work. And this is are Star Wars. Stop fucking about with stuff.
I know, and
he
it's
said
such a shame.
Storyline wise, he said it wasn't that bad. It was just. He's like, I understand why diehard Star Wars fans were pissed off with it, because they were just fucking about with what they have already created. Like, just
don't fuck with canon, do you? You don't fuck with the canon stuff.
Don't. And we've said this a million times on the podcast and off the podcast. Like, you have a universe.
Yeah.
Go off and do something. Go create something fantastic. You don't have to stop fucking about with canon and leave things.
I know, yeah. And
at least another Skywalker.
And that's it. And fair play to Acolyte, because at least that's why it's perhaps doubly disappointing from what I've heard, because I've not watched it, is the fact that it had potential, because it was doing something new. It wasn't just let's fucking throw in the Skywalker. Let's make an Obi-Wan show where he's actually saves Leia and they know each other, but that doesn't make any sense for the rest of the film. So which is just it's just absolute garbage. It's awful writing. So the fact that they've created something new and still fucked it up is like doubly disappointing, I think.
Yeah, it's gutting, isn't it?
Never mind. I think Star Wars is definitely on the downward hill.
Yeah, I've got to say this. Well, no, I mean, I enjoyed. Obviously, we all enjoyed Rogue One. I did like Darth Vader in Obi-Wan.
Yeah. There's some good bits in that.
He was fantastic. Like,
and
we finally saw a real badass Darth Vader.
Yeah, we saw that in Rogue One as well, didn't we? Which was cool.
But just kind of at the end.
Yeah, and it's just nice to see Hayden Christensen back because everyone was like,
yeah.
you know, like the stereotypical Star Wars fandom, fucking shit on something when it first comes out, and then years later absolutely love it. So maybe they'll do the same with Acolyte in like a decade or like 15, 20 years. People are like, oh my god, the Acolyte's the greatest thing ever. I never hated it at the time. It's like, yes,
Yeah,
you fucking did.
Everyone did.
Yeah. Because people do that now with the prequels, don't they? Like,
Oh, of course.
shit all over the time. I loved them as a kid because I was a kid when they were coming out, so I was well into like all like the toys and the games and all the stuff that came with it. I accepted that the films still weren't as great as a kid, but I didn't hate them.
Yeah, I think as you grow up though, you see a different side of them films. Because when I was a kid, I enjoyed the toys and the gimmicky characters. Then you watch it growing up, and you're like, these are just 3 political films.
Yeah.
How the fuck? I clearly didn't understand anything growing up because...
Oh, no, it was all about lightsabers.
It don't make sense now when I'm 36.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Attack of the Clones. It's like, it's just a mess. It's a whole mess of like attempted political assassinations and stuff that make no sense. And all I ever did was skip to the end, in the temple, big Jedi battle. That was it.
Jedi battle.
That's all that Attack of the Clones is known for. Big Jedi battle at the end. Just skip the rest of the first hour and a half of that film and just watch the last half an hour.
Exactly. Oh, brilliant. Right. We, I think, still October, so we've got a lot of horror to talk about, and we have recently gone to see a film, so I reckon we should maybe use today to go through the Terrifier franchise.
I'm excited to do this, just as I was very excited to go see the film last night.
Absolutely. So, we obviously can't do Snack of the Week together, but we don't want to not bring Snack of the Week because, you know, it's our favourite segment. It might not be everyone else's, but it's ours. So, we'll just have snacks, but we'll just be rating our own.
Yeah.
So, let's see if this has worked. I've set OBS up, so hopefully if I press this button, it should fuck off over to Drew and he should sing us a song. Should we try it?
Let's do it.
So if you're watching the video of this on YouTube, you'll see Drew's face with a mustache.
No way. Mustache man, Drew.
Exactly, but listen to the audio as well, because we need the numbers. Have them on at the same time.
Yeah.
Right, Drew, sing us in, baby.
Here come Sam and Ryan, listen to them both speak. They've come 2 hours on with their pop culture critique. But are you even a nerd if you don't overread? So come on everybody, it's the snack of the week.
There it was, I think. I think that was Drew. I can't hear Drew in the headset,
me neither.
Unfortunately.
No, me neither.
So what I have to do is I have to watch the screen and just wait until the soundbar goes to 0.
And I'm just going off of your cues.
So remember, 13 minutes, mate. When I
We're not supposed to be saying these things out loud because it's ruining the magic. Like,
sorry.
People won't think we're professional.
Oh yeah, sorry. God, I love it when Drew sings. Did you enjoy that sing song by Drew?
I was singing along.
Yeah, me too. You could sing along to more, Drew, if you wanted, Ryan.
Oh, really? How's that?
Mate, I'm telling you now, get your set on Spotify or Amazon Music or Deezer. I think that's one. Or what's the other one?
Apple Music.
Apple. All of these bloody things, mate. Get on there, type in Drew Flanagan. He's fucking there, mate, isn't he?
Is he?
Oh, he's got many a song.
Oh, yeah. Can you name some?
Oh, God, yeah. The Bird and the Worm.
I do like The Bird and the Worm.
That's a song by The Used. That's a banging song. I listened to it earlier. He's bringing out Common Denominator, though, the studio version.
He is bringing out the studio version because he's finally got his album ready to go. He's back from saving the world and, you know, he needs to get this album out because we've been promising the listeners the full studio album for a long, long time. Because we've got the live album, we've got the live EP. It's great. We've got a couple of little EPs as well. They're just teasing us, but we need the meaty centre now.
We do. We've had the jelly bit around the meat in the pork pie.
Yeah.
We've had the pork pie jelly. Now give us the meat.
A little bit of the crust. We need the thick, meaty centre.
Pork pie jelly is gross.
Which
Drew's music is not like pork pie jelly, I promise you. It's really good.
It is gross, isn't it? I
It's
hate
the-
pork pies.
Fuck off! Why you got jelly? I like pork pies, but it's jellyless. Get your jelly, your random dog food jelly out of my fucking pork pie, mate. Oh, that's not made me very hungry for this.
No.
Oh, right, let's just jump straight in. Drew, we love you very much. Everyone go over to your musical wares and listen to Drew Flanagan, or go on YouTube and watch him because he's on there as well. And then
follow him on all the socials.
That's what I was going to say, mate. Took the words right out of my face there. Well done.
Thank you.
How many snacks you got? Did I hear you had more than one?
No, I've got one.
Okay, I'm going to let you go first, Ryan.
Okay. My snack is of the liquid variety.
Is it water?
No, I drink enough of that. That's not really snacky, is it? Water.
not
That's
boring,
just
isn't it?
hydration. I've got a beer.
You don't drink, though.
Well, it's an alcohol-free one. I have a Brewdog alcohol-free hazy, and I've never had it before, so I'll be able to add it onto my Untapped app. So a new beer, which is nice.
Nice.
I fancied a beer the other day, but you know, not really drinking at the moment. So I thought, what alcohol-free beers have they got? Brewdog now do a multi-pack of different beers, all alcohol-free.
They do, yeah.
I've never seen before. Just like they do like the normal ones. So there's like the Punk, the Hazy, there's the Lost Lager equivalent, I think, and Wingman in there. So nice little variety.
That is
little
good.
Little 8-pack.
Of non-alcoholic beer. I like that. And also, I'm finding that the IPAs, you know, the pale ales and that, they are banging the alcohol-free ones. Like, I drink, if I'm going to a pub, I don't tend to even have a pint. The Beavertown one is insane. It's called like Laser Crush or something like that. That is so tasty. I can sit and suck them all night and think I'm drinking real beer. It just doesn't taste non-alcoholic, which is great.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you want to still have that beer taste and feel like you're having a drink.
Yeah.
Without the hungover, without the the poison that is alcohol.
The bloody poison that is alcohol.
I know.
Right.
It's like no, it's a school night, it's a work night. I fancy a beer, but alcohol free. Let's see how it tastes though.
Oh, I'm excited. Also, people that are watching it, have you noticed me and Ryan have matching earphones?
Yeah, we do
Look
actually.
at these fuckers. Look at them.
It's because I saw yours and I was like, I want some of them.
They're so cool.
We're just so cool.
We are so cool, Brian. Right, get your fucking drink down, you kid.
So I'm gonna have another little sip.
Now, I am a fan of the Brewdog Hazy.
Yeah, me too.
The poisonous one.
Yeah, and so do I. To be fair, the Hazy Jane, it is. I think most people would argue that is their best beer.
It's up there, definitely. Yeah.
My personal favourite's the Punk. It always has been, and that was that Punk for me was the gateway beer that got me into IPAs and ales.
Me
and
too. Yeah.
Unlocked. That was like the gateway from lagers into actual beers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's got a special place in my heart. It was something I drank. I got into drinking ales and drank them through lockdown. So, I think we all kind of look on lockdown now with a bit of nostalgia.
I don't remember lockdown because I drank that much.
Yeah, there you go then.
I spent more money in lockdown ever than I spend now because I just got fucked every night.
Yeah. What? There's nothing else to do.
No, there was nothing else to do. That and buy board games I couldn't play with people.
Yeah.
We played a lot of Rocket League, though.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. Anyway, you drink.
This is nice. Very nice. Not as flavoursome as the normal hazy.
Kind of expect it.
Yeah, a little bit flatter, but it's alcohol free.
I get it.
I've gone room temperature. I never put my beers in the fridge.
I know you don't. It's weird to me that I love an
I think that's what you're supposed to do, though, for beers. It's supposed to be room temperature. Don't get me wrong, I do like a nice cold beer. So, especially like the hazies and the punks, they're the sort of thing that I could drink cold or room temperature. Especially on a hot day, nice cold beer, can't beat it.
You bloody can't beat it, mate.
I've also got another beer on the go that I'd already started drinking before we decided to do Snack of the Week, which is a...
Ooh, see, I'm a Brooklyn fan.
Yeah, special effect.
Is
nice
that,
little,
is that
a
a
nice little lager. Been in the fridge though, because it's lager, so nice and cold.
Yeah.
Nice and refreshing.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what? Give us both a score on the.
All right. Okay.
I'd like to wear both of them, and then they can both sponsor us.
All right. So the Brooklyn Brewery low alcohol special effects hoppy lager, 0.4%. It came in a lovely little 4-pack in a little cardboard. It was lovely. Anyway.
Nice. Anyway.
See, the thing is, when it's cold. Here's the thing, right? I'm going off on a big tangent about beers now. We should just do a beer podcast. I feel like you get less taste when it's cold because you're tasting cold, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but it's more refreshing because it is cold, so there's more enjoyment that way.
Yeah. No.
So like you beer snobs, of which I'm a partial snob, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Would say that's why you should always drink them room temperature so you get the full flavour.
I get it.
But that's very nice. I would say alcohol free as well, so it's never going to be as good. It's just not. Let's just face it, it's not as good as alcohol full.
We're addicted to the poison, mate. It's how they get you.
Yeah, I'm going to go middle of the road, 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah. So on our tier,
that would be.
I'd have that again.
Will it'd be naught, or would it be love that? No.
Well, it'd be top end if I'd have that again. 3.5.
Yeah.
It'd have to be a 4 for love that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I agree. I'd have that again. Yeah. I agree. I'd have this again.
Yeah. I like
I've got more in the fridge. I might have
and
another
you're going
one.
to have one again.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I can drink as many as I want because I won't feel rough in the morning.
Exactly.
There is more alcohol in a banana than there is this.
It's actually.
Yes.
Especially the rum-soaked ones you have in the cupboard.
I know, yeah. Shh, don't tell people.
Sorry.
I eat them at work.
And your hazy AF.
Oh, yeah. And the hazy AF.
Hazy as fuck.
It's got better flavour.
Yeah.
But it's suffering because it's not cold. Whereas that one's more refreshing. I'm going to go, I think if that was from the fridge, it'd be a lot nicer. So I'm going to go a 3.75. But if it was cold, it might go up to a 4.
So at the minute, I'd have that again. But it's just bordering love that.
Yeah, it's got the potential. So, because I think if I had that cold straight out of the fridge or on a hot day, cracking that bad boy open, I'd neck up most of that can in one go, I reckon. Because it'd just be refreshing.
Did you know, and I brought these up again, clearly trying to plug for a sponsor here, that Beavertown do a lager?
What's it called?
I can't remember. I saw it today. First time I've ever seen it. I went to play mini golf earlier, and they had loads of Beavertown cans in, but then they had 3, your standard neck oil, gamma ray.
Yeah. And
then they had a lager on tap as well, and it's the first time I'd seen a lager.
I don't know if I've had a Beavertown lager. I'd have to check my app.
Yeah, that's true.
I've had that's the beauty of the app. I know just what beers I've had and when.
But I like that little mini golf place, so I'll go back and I'll try one. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And I get
where did you play mini golf?
It's called the No Work Club. It used to be called Axed. It's the axe throwing place.
Okay.
So they've got the axe throwing, mini golf. Then they've got like shuffleboards and darts and all that lot, and then a few escape rooms in there as well. It's a cool little place to be fair.
Nice.
Yeah.
I take or leave mini golf, I think.
Yeah, I like it. It's one of the glory hole type ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the silly bits and that, but yeah, it was all right.
Nice.
Cool.
Go on then. What snack have you got?
Well, my snack, my friend, is something I bought for us a very long time ago, which are Snack Right fully loaded jalapeno peanuts. So we've got some jalapeno peanuts here, and I bought these for us because these are out of date. that's how long ago I bought these. Oh my god. Yeah, these are out of date as well. Still going to eat them. Fuck it.
Well, yeah. But they're just nuts, right?
Yeah,
nuts can't go out of date, can they?
For us because you're one of these, eat well fitness weirdos, and eat well fitness weirdos love nuts. I've never met one that doesn't like nuts, and you don't. It's weird to me.
I'm not a big nut fan. No, I'm not. I've never been into nuts. Peanuts. I don't like the taste of peanuts. I don't like peanut butter. It just doesn't do it for me.
Again, weird. All the protein in here, mate, and the
I know,
protein's fermented because it's 3 months out of date.
Yeah. that protein's growing new protein.
Oh, yeah. So your non-poisonous alcohol-free beers, I've got poisonous peanuts.
Yeah. They'd probably go great together.
Also, these what I eating earlier. Now, these very early days, probably like episode 2 or 3 of Into the Podcast.
Wow, okay.
We rated now. Bats and Ghosts, pickled onion flavoured crisps.
I remember that.
And I don't go into Lidl anymore because I've got an Aldi closer. And I went in today just to pick up some milk and bread from my mum as I was driving past. And I found these on the end of an aisle. I was like, oh, I need to get them. They're so good, man. I fucking love them.
They are great. That must have been. Do they bring them out for Halloween?
Halloween,
Like just seasonal. So that must have been like 2 years ago, when we first started the podcast. Because that was around October time. Yeah.
Mind you, we've had.
I think we have.
We've had a year and a half off. In breaks.
We've only got 6 episodes out.
Right, I'm going to eat some of these peanuts.
Jalapeno flavoured. I fucking love jalapenos.
I'm a little bit worried about these, I'm not going to lie to you. I love peanuts. Love them.
Yeah.
Big fan. So, can't tell they're out of date, mate. Still a good crunch.
How could you tell if peanuts are out of date? Did they go soggy?
I would assume they go soft and just taste as shit.
Yeah.
Whereas these, the perfect peanut crunch, no spice.
No jalapeno flavour?
Ever so slight jalapeno flavour. I'll have a few more. They're tasty. A little bit more. There it is. A little bit more spice on them ones.
Right.
Maybe the spice has just gone to the bottom of the bag because they've been there for 3 years. You know what? Yeah. I'm a fan.
Go on then. Where you put it on the tier system?
Now, good source of protein as well, everyone. But it is 17.9% of your saturates. No, 7% of your saturates, sorry.
Yeah. Good. I mean, that's standard for nuts, isn't it? It's probably up a little bit more because of whatever the jalapeno flavouring they put on.
I'm going to bang that middle of the road. And I'll tell you for why. So
I'd have that again.
I'd have that again. Tell you why it's not love that. Peanut, I love, and I would have more peanuts. Like, if you get yourself a good lime and chili cashew, mate, all day. You get a big bag of them for about £2. These were like £1.70.
Yeah.
But these are ones by the till.
Yeah.
That's what drops them, because I won't buy these again, because they're £1.70 for a mouthful of nuts.
That's a lot of money.
And it might be a good source of protein, but I can get.
That's why it's more though, because people like the fitness freaks, they want the protein. Mm-hmm. You know, you think a protein bar on average that's £2.50 for a protein bar.
For a cheap protein bar as well.
Yeah, exactly. So a £1.70 bag of nuts is looking pretty appealing to those protein seekers.
But taste good, enjoy them. That little kick is there. Very minimal, but it's good. Yeah, I'd have them again. If someone went, here, I got these for you, because you're fucking looking swole, mate. I can tell
you are.
I can tell you're on the protein. Then
yeah.
I'd munch away, mate.
Nice.
But I'm not spending £1.70 myself.
That is fair.
Yeah. Right, so a couple of non-alcoholic beers and some out-of-date peanuts for you this week. in pure Into the Podcast fashion.
Yeah. God, why does anyone listen to this?
They don't, mate.
Oh, they don't. That's it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Right, we've got half an hour then to talk about the Terrifier films. How would you like to go around doing this?
Oh, that's a great question. Do we want to quickly recap 1 and 2 and then talk primarily about 3? Because obviously that's the one that's in the cinema at the moment. It's getting the headlines. The only one that got a cinema release. So that's the one that's fresh as well. So should we do that? What do you think?
I'm down for that, mate. Yeah, quick recap. So we'll just start nice and early with the first one. Concept of what the Terrifier films are. quick chat about the second, moving on, and then the big release, which is Terrifier 3, obviously. So Terrifier 1 is one of these things that I knew about the fact that it had become a cult classic before I'd watched the film. So I'd seen pictures of art all over the place. I bought a really nice picture frame of Art the Clown with the sunglasses on before I'd seen any of the films.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I love that. I've seen him around. That's a really cool picture. It was all done in like traditional tattoo art. So I've done that before the films. So directed by, it's Damien Leone, is it?
It is, yeah.
And the first one is a massive B movie. Just a story of Halloween night, couple of young ladies, been out on the drink, been to a Halloween party, trying to get back, and in Miles County, and there's just this killer clown that's following them about, being sadistic and weird, and then he just starts killing every fucker.
Yeah.
Very gory.
That's the key difference, isn't it? That sets these films apart from any other slasher film. It's the level of gore. It's to the extreme. Like, there is no like you know, like in horror films where like someone might be slashing someone, like, you know, if you're looking at the screen now, you'll be slashing, but the impact is out of shot.
Yeah, it's normally like the movement, maybe every now and then
the camera stays on me, the knife goes out of shot, blood splatting on me or whatever, maybe a few screams, and you might cut to the victim like cowering or whatever, and then you see them dead afterwards. Whereas this, you see the impact, you see the blades go into the skin, you see the bones snap, you see the tissue come out. It's immaculately done.
It's
from like a special effects.
Oh, 100%. It's pure gore porn. Like you said,
yes.
What a simple stab wound would be. You know, when he pulls the knife out, you see the flaps of the skin do that, and a load of gubbins will come out, not just blood. Like, it is to the extreme, to the point of, actually, a knife wound probably wouldn't do that. I mean, the rest of the shit he does, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, the first one sort of follows a story of a bit more of your simple... Not simple, because it goes weird, but it's a bit more... It's a contained story, isn't it? It's one night, Halloween night, it's following these couple of girls, like exactly like you said. Art finds them in, like, a pizza joint, doesn't he? Creeps them out, and then starts stalking them. Then the rest of the film's sort of in, like a not like an abandoned building, but a building that's getting work done on it.
Or something, isn't it?
Yeah, so then, like, other people come in and out and get killed off very quickly. And it's got, you know, well, let's talk about Art, because Art the Clown is the villain. He's the main character. He is a clown, but he's kind of more like a mime, isn't he? Because he doesn't speak. He says no words at all. He makes no sounds.
Yeah.
And I love that about him. It's so good because it makes him so much creepier. But on the flip side, it also makes him funnier. Because he's doing these like ridiculous like facial expressions, and he's like, you know, these big goofy smiles, and he's like very like articulate with his hands, isn't he? Yeah. And he lots of gestures.
When he's creeping around, he does the physical.
Yeah, like he is like like you would from a mime.
Absolutely,
you know. And I love that. It adds so much to his character, and I think that's important because, you know, we were talking last night after seeing the film, like that adds that element of comedy and like tongue-in-cheek elements to it, and I think you need that to counteract the extreme gore, because the level of gore is ridiculous anyway. It's over the top. I mean, these things probably would happen if you sawed someone into little pieces. All the shit and everything would come out. It'd be horrific. If you skin someone alive, you know, that's what their skull would look like when he's peeled it off. So I feel like you need that comedy sort of like silliness.
Yeah.
To sort of balance it out, because they're not serious. They're horrific.
Oh, yeah.
They are purely fucked up, hence why 1 and 2 didn't even get a cinema release, because major studios wouldn't even touch them.
They didn't touch this for the third one either, but...
No, exactly. Yeah. So the first one, you introduced it to me because I think we've been talking about it for a while. It came out in 2016. I've just had a look. I think I must have watched this 2 or 3 years ago, maybe. Whenever we started really watching films together, I think so.
Early
we
days
were,
of the podcast, I think.
Yeah. So watched that. Enjoyed it straight away because it's just if you like horror, you're gonna love it, and if you love gore, you're gonna love it. The first one's quite simple, but it has those supernatural elements to it as well, doesn't he? Because he's a clown, like a clown that, but if you stab him or shoot him, whatever, he just gets back up. So he keeps coming.
Yeah. No backstory, which I fucking love. No backstory.
No,
don't need no backstory. Stop giving me a backstory.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Nope.
And I love that. We're not trying to, delve into the mind of this guy. Oh, why is he this? Or what's happened to him? It's just like, nah, he's a fucked up clown. He's going to kill you. Get away from him.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's all we need.
That's all we need. That's what we're here for. We're not here for a story that's crowbarred in to make us feel weight for the characters or whatever. It's literally like we're here to see a fucked up clown fuck people up.
We are here to see the gore. Let's be honest. We're here to see the deaths, the gore, what art can do. We want to see as much art being art as much as possible.
Yeah.
So if you start crowbarring bullshit story in there, then we get less of what we want.
Yes.
And I think moving on to the second one, I think they towed the line quite well there because there's a lot more story and we see less of art.
Yep.
But the gore, the deaths, that everything is ramped up to 1,000.
Yes.
Like
so
everything. There's more story. And again, it's a bullshit story because it's still shot and done like a B movie. But what we see when we see is another level. I mean, we thought it was the top. We thought it was top tier gore. Mate, drop that down to dog shit on our fucking list. Because it goes to the top again.
Oh, it does. It really does. Yeah, Terrifier 2 takes it to a whole new level. I totally agree with everything you're saying. Everything's bigger. The story's bigger. The gore is bigger. There's more. Yeah, it's just more ridiculous. But they have tried to add more story in. And I do think they get the balance right to an extent. I think what it struggles with generally as a whole is it's too long, the second one. For me, personally.
18 in it, something like that.
2 hours 18. The first one's an hour 25. So it's nearly an hour longer, which I would say is probably pure storyline.
Yeah.
There is a lot more like sort of psychedelic and supernaturally elements with like the clown cafe and like all these like ridiculousness and like the sort of bringing a story of Sienna is introduced into this one. She's like she's the protagonist from the second one, and she's brought in as almost like this righteous warrior to fight art, and that's becomes more and more apparent as the film goes on. Whereas the first one, I don't think anyone survived the first one, did they?
Well, sister.
Yeah.
But she wasn't even the main story. They rang the sister, our car's got a flat tyre, can you come pick us up?
Yes. That was it,
Gets fucked up but survives. And
that was it.
She just comes back in the next film and in the third film. But, she's the only one to survive.
Yeah, so... Yeah, because... Yeah, Sienna is not in the first one, is she?
Nope.
No. So then she's like the main character, and I think you have a little bit of a crush on Lauren Lavera, who plays Sienna.
Little one. Now I'm just gonna say, mate.
Go on.
Now, obviously, Lauren Lavera really steps up a game when she's at the party.
Oh yes, when she's wearing her scantily clad Xena warrior princess-esque outfit with some angel wings.
Yes. Now, I rewatched this again the other night before I went to go see Terrifier 3, just because, weirdly enough, Mum and Dad was watching Terrifier 1 whilst eating the tea the other day.
Not a film to watch when you
walked in, there was Gran and a shepherd's pie, literally at the bit.
God, yeah.
At the bit. Without saying too much for the audio listeners. So I was like, I've watched that one a few times. I rewatched the second one. Now, obviously, the clothing, it does help for my crush. But I figured, I'm only putting 20% onto that outfit, mate. Them braids, She looks like a
Yeah.
whole new woman. The braids and the eye makeup, that's what does it for me.
Yeah,
just
it's the whole package, isn't it?
the
With
whole
it sort of
package.
combined.
Yeah, she's just a lovely young lady, and she doesn't need to be wearing all that if she don't want to be. She doesn't have to look like Xena.
No,
She could be
no,
wearing a
shouldn't.
nudie, but with them braids and that eye makeup, mate. End of me. Go away,
Yeah.
Art the Clown. We don't want you on the screen anymore. You've done your
Yeah,
Bring back
Yeah.
Lauren Lavera.
yeah, and I think they do quite well because, all jokes aside, I feel like you are rooting for Sienna as a character.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because in the first one, I felt like I wasn't really rooting for the victims. It was kind of like I just want Art to fuck these people up. But then once you've seen Art fuck so many people up, you kind of want that character to fight back a little bit.
Yes.
And not just like, half-hearted, like in the moment, like, oh, I'm just going to kick you off and then carry on running and then die a little bit later on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good that she's brought in. There's a lot about 2 I can't really remember, to be fair. So you're probably better off talking about it than me because it's quite a while ago since I watched it. It must have been last year, and a lot happens in it because it's like 2 hours 20.
Yeah,
it's a long film.
I mean, the whole kind of storyline is very similar to the first. Art the Clown's back. It's I don't know, many years after the Miles County killings, and she starts seeing him about. She's getting ready for this big party, so she creates this outfit from a picture that her father, who sadly passed away, drew for her. So he was like a comic book artist. He created this female character who is like the strongest of the strongest, like you said, very Xena looking with the wings and this big sword. So she creates this outfit. Falls asleep one night whilst the clown cafe is being played in the background, has this really fucked up dream. Unreal. That is a cult classic scene now.
Yes.
It's unreal. The song's great.
It
You've
is.
seen it be performed live.
I've seen it being performed live by the actress who sings it.
Which is mad. And when she wakes up, the outfit's on fire. She doesn't know how. She hasn't left any things on. But what she finds from the remnants of this fire is the sword that she made is now a full metal sword ready for action. And she's like, how did it survive? How did it do this? Film carries on. Art the Clown, as being Art the Clown, upped his game. Now we are talking... There is a big gory scene from the first one that everyone will remember that's seen it.
Mm-hmm. Involving a saw.
Involving a saw and a naked lady chained upside down. This one, and that's like the big scene. There's a lot of gore in it, but that's like the big scene.
I think that is the sort of,
There's so many of them in 2. That woman, when he goes trick-or-treating, and that woman's like, will you just fuck off? I'm not giving you candy. When he goes back to her, like, what Damien Loney does here is he touches on fears that are so minimal but so massive. So he does the really gory, ripping someone's hand open and scalping and doing all this stuff. But then he returns with bleach and salt to literally rub salt into wounds, and like he takes it back to like that basic, like, oh my god, like we've just seen someone be scalped and we're like, yep, cool. Comes back with salt and we're like, oh no, don't, no. Oh,
yeah.
It's so weird.
Just when you think it's over, he brings it back, doesn't he? And another element to it.
Absolutely. So then it kind of all gets a bit trippy sort of towards the end with this fight between, Lauren Lavera goes to this party, sees him, all kind of kicks off. And she ends up in this weird, like, Halloween haunted house type thing, and it kind of all goes down from there into this big battle. So this is where we find out that maybe Art can be killed. She, did the dad have a premonition of this happening? This is why he sort of made her make this outfit to be able to protect her. And they go through it, and at one point the brother's like, oh my god, look at this, there's a picture of Art that dad drew years ago, before he died, and blah blah blah. Did he know this was going to happen? So it does get a bit supernaturally there, and I kind of don't care. It's a storyline. It's a long film. Get on with it, but love it, love it, because it is very gory. It's very Art probably has the same screen time as the last one because of the length of the film.
Yeah,
but he really ups his game in what we are there to see. Nobody can tell me. So here's an example of people that are just like, what do you mean you go to watch that? A lot of these people probably enjoy the Saw films, and you don't watch the Saw films for the storyline. And if you do, I'm going to come and test you on what the storyline to each of them films are, because nobody knows and nobody fucking cares. We're more bothered about what's the inventive ways they're going to kill someone this time.
Yeah.
That's
What are the
why-
crazy traps? What are the games that they're playing? How are they going to die in horrific ways?
That's why I still watch the Saw films, and that's kind of what we expect from Art the Clown. What weird, strange way. And it's really weird, you know, because being big film fans, like, as much as we are invested in this film and invested in these characters, when I watch him, I don't think what's Art going to do next. I in my head with these films, it's always, what has Leone thought of?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, what's, because you didn't think he could get any more depraved than he does.
Oh God, yeah, it does. That.
You know,
You do think, how is his mind working?
Oh God, absolutely. So loved the second one, very long, but still about it. Then rumours about the third for quite a while. It finally gets the green light, gets picked up by a few studios. Then, and nothing can touch this film. Nothing. Any, you know, the whole any publicity is good publicity. For the Terrifier film, that is so true. Because it got picked up by one of the major production companies. They saw him film the first scene and went, we're dropping you, we're not doing it. That just got more people investing money, more producers. Oh my God, what have you got for us now, baby boy? Bring it on. And that just really pushed this film to the heights it's at.
And that's a credit straight away to Damien Leone, however you say it, because he had a vision, he's created this. It's been going around a long time as well, I think, the Terrifier. Because it started off as a short, Was it a short?
Yeah.
Like a 20-minute short? But it was still Art the Clown. Mm-hmm. And that was like 2011 or something. So he's created this, and he's financed a lot of it himself. He makes the special effects himself. He wrote it, directed it. It's very much his creation, isn't it? It's his baby, this world. So it's great to see that he's done the first one, upped it for the second one. He's been that successful that Hollywood companies and big production companies have come in and said, "Look, we want to back you because you know you got something here."
You're bringing something here.
Oh yeah. It's all about success. Obviously, that's the only reason they're coming in. But the fact that it'd have been so easy for him to sell out and go, "Oh yeah, we'll tone it back a little bit. We'll make it 15. We'll." Because you could still do high levels of gore now these days with 15, especially if it's like CGI. But he doesn't do CGI; he does like proper prosthetic effects. And he was like, "Nah, fuck that! I'm doing my own thing." He's like, "Yeah, I'll take your money, but I'm still doing my thing." So
and they went, "No, we're out." No.
Yeah, and I love that.
Good.
I love that
Absolutely.
he did not back down, and he just that was like, "This is what I'm doing. This is my thing." And that's very apparent in the third film.
Very apparent. Then, you know, we're hearing all this. We're getting little updates here and there, and then it drops. Terrifier 3 is going to be a Christmas film brought out in October. There's a picture, you know, it's kind of more of a cartoon drawing of Art the Clown wearing Santa's face. Literally wearing his face as skin. And from that point on, I mean, am I going to say it's taken over Die Hard as my favourite Christmas film? It's up there.
Really?
I'll be watching it every Christmas with Die Hard. Every Christmas.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people will.
Get my 7-year-old in, and we're going to sit and watch Die Hard and Terrifier 3 together. And then maybe the Grinch afterwards.
Yeah. He's just a bit like the Grinch, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. So there's a lot of hoo-ha about this. He made it onto Call of Duty, got a Call of Duty skin. It's kind of been everywhere. They did the premiere and a lot of people walked out. There's people being sick. Now we hear this a lot, and I don't tend to Unilad and all these sort of shitty Facebook. I've unfollowed them all because they all do me head in. But they do a lot of like, oh my God, the most terrifying film to ever come to Netflix, and it's some bullshit fucking film.
Yeah.
But normally when you hear this, it's just not true. Like,
it's just noise, isn't it?
It's just noise, and people probably left, and people maybe were sick. But I can't remember whether you said this, Ryan, or somebody else. Maybe it's a case of it was a premiere, so the bloody crane company that helped them with a couple of cranes for some high shots got a couple of tickets.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
This is what I said.
Yeah, it was you, wasn't it?
It's like a premiere, so it's going to be like executives and their friends and family and well-to-do people and financiers or whatever. They're not fans of the series. No. They're probably not horror fans. They're just be like, "Oh, I've got tickets to a premiere of a film. Do you want to go?" If someone gave me tickets to a premiere, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, I don't care what the film is."
I don't care what it is. Yeah, we're going.
So how many people have rocked up and gone, "What the fuck is this?" and walked out?
Because it is It's extreme, and the way I've described this to everyone that's asked, bearing in mind I love this film. I'll just point out there now, loved it.
Yep.
This film is what nightmares are made of.
You're totally right.
100%. This is not. I mean, 1 and 2 are not for the faint-hearted. 2 especially.
No.
This is not. Nobody's safe.
No.
From 6-month-old babies to fucking old women, and pets and anything in that is eligible to be chainsawed or hacked or be beheaded.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They
set their stall out in the opening scene for this film, where Art breaks into a house as Santa Claus and proceeds to absolutely destroy a family of 4 with little kids.
Yep.
With little kids, and he fucks those kids up. They are little kids.
Now,
and you just like
smart didn't show it.
They didn't show it, but they showed the aftermath, didn't they?
They showed the aftermath,
like little boy's head just on the floor with all his body parts in different places, and you're like, yeah, this is going to be...
It's going to be
a Terrifier film.
Yep. And it just kind of goes from there. So the storyline is continuing to follow Sienna. Sienna is sort of in and out of counselling and psychiatric hospitals.
Understandably
after what happened.
There's
this big hoo-ha around, is it actually the Miles County killer? Let's be honest, who's the only person that's ever been at these crime scenes? Sienna. So it's a bit of like, is she part of it? She then starts seeing Art again, so understandably he's going a bit crazy, and people are a bit like, we need to get her back in the hospital as soon as. And then Art shows himself, and from there on out, fucks everybody up in possibly the worst ways I've ever seen.
Yes.
Brilliantly. This practical effects, the best I've seen.
Yeah.
Ever. There is, and mind you saying that, in the second one, when they go to the fancy dress shop and he's terrorising her in there.
Yes.
And the bloke who works there, when he chopped his head off, mate, that head is still blinking and the mouth's still moving when it's removed from his head.
Yeah.
The practical effects this guy has are...
I think the practical effects is in the second one where the girl's been skinned and stuff and she's in the bed and her eyes are still moving and there's like not much of a face like that. That for me was probably the one where I was like, oh, that's... Oh,
which he does again in this film, doesn't he? With the
he
shower
does.
scene.
Yeah. There's so many scenes. Which ones in particular for you particularly jumped out? So we don't want to go into spoilers, but let's perhaps talk generally about some scenes and the ones that perhaps made you go, oh, that was bad. Because they've got to be next level horrific to do that, because we're pretty seasoned horror vets.
Oh, big time. Definitely
but there was
the shower scene.
The shower scene, yeah.
The thing is, I saw that coming up a mile off, especially with Mate Boy on the floor. The way he was laid, I was like, I know where that's going.
As soon as people were having sex, you know what was coming. You know what was going to be.
Absolutely.
You knew what was coming.
They up the comedy in this one as well. In a way of, again, all down to, and I'm really sorry, I cannot remember the actor's name who plays Art.
I shall tell you whilst you talk.
But all because of him, his mannerisms, the way he is. There's this podcaster who does true crime that keeps talking about, I wonder what it's like to be in his presence, and he's the other side of the door, just like getting all bashful and like, oh my god, and then like when he does finally get hold of her and starts doing stuff to her, he's still doing it in a way of like, you're being killed by Art, and it's so well done that,
I know,
as you said, because it is so graphic and so horrific, you're kind of like, oh, ha ha ha, oh, ha ha ha, the whole way through it. And it's such a like up and down mix of emotions of just kind of funny, but then what the fuck?
I know. There's plenty of what the fuck moments. The actor is David Howard Thornton.
David Howard Thornton. He is fantastic. Like
he's so good. For me, the one scene there was a couple. There was the shower scene, but in particular was the bit with the leg where he stands on the leg, and I visibly went, oh fuck. There was also the masturbation scene.
Yeah, that's a bit off the top, isn't it? Now, my mother of all people ruined this for me because when I told her I was going to go see the film, she went, "Oh yeah, that's the bit where she does mimimi with the mimimi," and I was like, "Oh, cheers, mum."
Yeah, see, whereas for me, that I didn't see that coming, and you're just like watching it, you're like, why?
Yeah, yeah.
Why is this happening?
Why is this happening?
And why have I paid to watch this?
And I wasn't. Yeah, it was just a bit like, okay.
I did feel a bit. I did feel a bit sick a couple of times throughout this film, and I'm
Did you?
pretty good for that. You know, when you just not like horrendously, but you know, when you're just like, oh man, that was nasty.
I felt a bit sick afterwards, but I ate a whole share bag of Maltesers and some Sour Patch Kids to myself. So
Yeah,
the reason
it could have been that. Could have been
had
that.
nothing to do with the film. I mean, the end scene when she's tied up, that's pretty horrific. I saw the twist of the skull coming a mile off. When they said it was one character, it turned out to be another. As soon as she laid it, I was like, that's not. That is definitely who it is.
Yes.
But, you know, even that, just down to the fact that, nothing overly horrific. Yes, there is a lot of horrific things going on. But just the fact that he's killed somebody, pinned them to the wall, gutted them, and is using the entrails as Christmas decorations around the house. Like,
yeah,
it's just so.
And that's the sort of thing you don't even. That's like such like a background moment. It's absolutely horrific, but we're so desensitized to it all by that point. You're like, that's nothing. That's a nothing scene. Whereas actually, in reality, it's horrific.
It's so bad. Yeah. Give me, if you can think of another one that really sort of made, because we're coming to the end of our time, but there was just someone I wanted to talk about storyline wise.
I'm struggling to think of anything that particularly different. Obviously, the rats was nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just lots of awful stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You go with your story. What are you going to say?
Storyline wise, for me, so they have gone supernatural to the extreme. They've set up. Terrifier 4 has already been greenlit.
Yeah.
They've got where they're going with it, and it gives me very poltergeist vibes.
Yeah, it's very, very supernaturally, very sort of like hints at like demon and possession and demonic stuff, and it feels a little bit like angels versus demons type thing now, a little bit.
Absolutely. And I think what we're saying, and this is, so I've had two thoughts about this, because where we said number one had no storyline, you can't keep bringing these out year on year and it just be the same Art the Clown kills people. It needs a storyline.
I totally agree.
It
especially
needs to go somewhere.
Especially if you can't kill him and you fight him, and it's a bit like, comes back from the dead. It's like, but why?
Yeah, but what's the point?
It comes to a point where, you're like, what's the point? Like, I want to know more, and I think we are at that stage now.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine.
Yeah, I agree. Because it doesn't take away from like the horrific violence that we're seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. My only worry with it, my only concern is I think about your classics, your Hellraisers, your Chuckies, all of these things. Granted, they're of a different like gore level, but they start getting very bad very quickly.
Yeah.
By this point, my worry is because they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something different now with the character and with the franchise. It worries me a little bit of going down a different road. I think we'll definitely still get the gore. You can't top what we've seen. You can't.
That's the difficulty he's going to face now, is trying to come up with more horrific, inventive, and more horrific ways for people to die.
Yeah.
And I think that there's probably loads. We probably think it's a struggle. It probably isn't. He's probably already got a million different ways that's in his mind how he's going to do that.
Oh yeah.
So I think in terms of what you're saying about the franchise, though, I think what stands Terrifier franchise in a good place, in a good stead, is because you look at like your Chuckies, your Hellraisers, Texas Chainsaw Massacres, any big horror franchise. Generally, the first film's the best one, and they get progressively, very quickly, like I said, turned to absolute garbage.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's not many that have a good sequel, or the sequel maybe drops a little bit in quality and then it just drops off a cliff for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. I think the Terrifier films have got gradually better. personally. Maybe 2 and 3 on a bit of an even keel. So I don't think 1 came out and was instantly like, this is a classic, this is up here with like one of the greatest horror films of all time. I think it's started off as something small, which had its, gore and everything at its core, and it's built from that.
Oh, it got its notoriety probably. It got its notoriety probably from social media. Social media would have been, oh my god, check out these fucked up scenes. That's where more people will have seen it and come from it because it was different from the stuff we are seeing.
Exactly.
Because since Terrifier, I'm seeing a lot more. I follow a lot of horror people on Instagram, and it's always like, oh, try this film, try that. There's a lot more to do with gore now instead of the more supernatural, or because I try to find scary, and I'm seeing a lot more gore fests over the scary films now, and I think that's probably because we're at the season of the gore at the moment with Terrifier.
Yeah, quite possibly. And,
so it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, and I just hope that because Damien Leone's, it's his franchise, he's going to keep that, he's going to protect it. He knows it works now. This film, by all accounts, Terrifier 3, first one in the cinema, and it's done pretty well. I'm sure it made like 18 million on its opening weekend.
It beat the Joker.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It knocked Joker off straight away. I mean, Joker's done absolutely shit. It's lost a lot of money. Whereas Terrifier 3 will probably have made on a shoestring budget, really.
Oh, yeah.
Like 1 and 2 were. Even like, I don't know if it was just for us, but the sound quality was pretty terrible where we saw it. It was just loud.
It's still done in an 80s gore film way. That's what I like about his films. They are shot in that. I think they're definitely purposely shot that way. It's cheap to make a good-looking film. We've seen very good-looking dog shit horrors that were done on a shoestring budget. But he's doing this on purpose, and I like that. I like the grainy sound. I like the off-color, old style cameras. It just makes it
more intense as well. I think the whole experience, like, it was just uncomfortable because the sound was so loud. Like, when he's just like squelching through fucking tissue and cracking bones, and it's just like in your face, like bang, 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 bang. And you're like, oh my god, I didn't want to listen to it anymore.
Great. Loved it.
But yeah, so going back to what I was saying, I think hopefully because Damien Leone's, it's his project, he's already fended off the production companies, because a lot of time when these production companies, these Hollywood companies get their talents in, they enforce changes, and a lot of the time those changes are not for the better.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he can keep it protected, and he knows they're his films. He knows what people want. So
absolutely, and they're not going to be taken over by your Sonys and your. You know what I mean? Like, because eventually all that happens is these people are then sort of hoarded into a deal where they end up with fucking the rights, or you know what I mean? Because someone like him is like, nah, fuck you, man. Like, I made my money, I've done my bit, and I'm making great films. Like, he will get jobs from this. He will be fine.
He'll be set.
He will be fine from these films. He ain't got to let anybody in or touch his stuff.
And I bet this film will have made a huge profit because. It's cinema release. It's doing really well. Got good Rotten Tomatoes score. It's got a 7.1 on IMDb, which is insane. Like the first one got like 5.6 or something. So I think it'll be fine. I do worry a little bit, like you said, in terms of storyline, where they go from it, because in some ways it was a little bit rinse and repeat with like Sienna. She's the victim. She's got to fend off art. Is she this savior woman? Gets a sword and fights him off, and it's like it was a little bit repetitive. So how they do something different with the third one will be interesting. Because I like Sienna as a character.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And I am rooting for Sienna. Maybe they go something totally off keel, like very different. With. Again, no spoilers, but with what happened to a certain character at the end, that could definitely force Sienna to go in that direction.
Oh, they're going to have to. This is why it'll be different.
And that could unlock a whole realms of possibility. So, no, it's exciting times for the Terrifier franchise. I think it's one of those films. I can't think of a modern character that's instantly become a classic that you would put up there with like your 80s classics of like Freddy Krueger or Mike Myers or Jason, all these Chucky, all these iconic horror characters.
I guess there's been a couple. There's been like Sam from Trick or Treat, which isn't huge. Billy from the Saw, but that's really about it.
But even then, I would not put them in the same league as those classics like your Mike Myers. You know, personally, I wouldn't, and I'm not into horror as much as you. So I just think from a pop culture place, Art is up there with the top now. He is
God, yeah.
so recognizable. You got people cosplaying him. You're getting the artwork. You're getting the franchise. He's on Call of Duty straight away, and people, you know, that's massive. That's great to see. It's great to see because there's a lot of time, you know, we always go, oh, they don't make anything new or anything exciting anymore, or it's just rehashing the same ideas. So the fact that they've created this franchise,
this monster, that's what
this
they've done.
horrific monster. Yeah, absolutely, and done something new and instantly where people love him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've done a great job. I absolutely love it. Did you love the film?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did. For all the, like, wrong reasons, because people always say to you, like, oh, why would you go watch that? It's like, well, I like horror.
Yeah.
You know, I can take or leave gore, to be fair. I'm not, like, driven by that purely, but I was excited to see this film and I wasn't disappointed.
Oh, God, absolutely. I've not been this excited to see a film since Avengers Endgame. So that's saying something.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
Right.
It was, yeah, definitely go see it. Go see it.
Yeah, go now. I promise you'll love it. If you're not into horror, you'll love it.
And you don't really need to have seen 1 and 2 to go watch the third one, I think.
No, not really. They kind of explain it, don't they?
Yeah, I think they have to, especially because, you know, maybe that's why it's kind of similar. It's almost like, in some ways, a little bit of a soft reboot. But, yeah.
So one last question then before we call it a day. Did you have anyone walk out the screening?
Yes, I think we did. I think we had a couple of young girls walked out that probably weren't even old enough to be in the film in the first place. It's hard to tell because it was packed. Well, it wasn't packed. It was busy. The cinema was busy. And there's a lot of people in and out all the time, toilets and stuff. So I wasn't really clocking if people were coming back. I definitely think 2 girls definitely walked out quite near the end as well. It was the end sequence where she was tied up and everything. Yeah. They walked out then.
We had 5 walk out.
Wow.
Because I was clocking who left and who come back as it was going. Yeah, we were sat on the walkway down. So as I was leaving, I was like, okay, interesting. Because there was a guy on it sit by himself, and I was like, fucking fair play to this dude. Like, I would definitely come see this film on my own, but fair play to this guy, and he left like 2/3 of the way in.
Okay. So why go and see a film like that on your own if you're not like,
maybe he wasn't enjoying it or whatever. But then a couple of young girls left, and then a guy and a girl left, and they never came back. Because obviously people were popping out for wheeze and to grab a drink or whatever.
Yeah.
I was noticing the ones that were coming back, and I was just like, okay, because I would never walk out. I knew what I was going to go see, even if it was a shit film.
Oh God. Yeah, exactly.
But
I don't think I've ever walked out of a film before. I think we've talked about this before.
District 9.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was so hungover, it was making no sense, and I just didn't like any of it.
Fair.
I was I felt sick. I was like, I feel like death, and shut up. I'm not interested about prawns. Leave me alone.
The film that I was in that most people have walked out of, where literally it was pretty much a packed cinema, and by the end there was probably about 8 people left, was Keith Lemon the movie.
Understandable.
It was fucking atrocious. It was so bad. But there was a big group of us, so it became a running joke for us to stay because we were the ones that stayed. Because it was a busy screening, because that was back when Keith Lemon was at his height of popularity, hence why he got a film out. And it was fucking awful, like so bad, like probably the worst film I've ever seen in my entire life. It was.
That was the wrong monster created. That was.
Yeah.
Right, we'll leave it there then. Hour and 10 minutes in, fantastic. So, audio might be great, might not be. We don't know these days because we've had to swap and change how we record this so much recently. But we've done the best we can. We've got new mics, we've got new everything, so we're hoping this will be good. So we're going to try and do some online like this so we can get some video together. Just make things a bit better whilst Ryan is adjusting to dad life, and we don't want to be bothering little and too much. And but we're still gonna be doing face to face, still getting together, because I can't go without seeing you for that long, mate.
Yeah, likewise.
You know what I mean?
Likewise.
So we'll do a bit of both. If the audio's well on this one, then yeah, we'll be great. We'll get some stuff up on YouTube as well. Might be able to pull some clips from this as well, which would be nice to be able to bang some stuff out on social media. Which
Got to
Megan,
put manager Megan to work, haven't we?
manager Megan has been telling us to do this for a while, and I don't want to learn how to video edit. So here you go, Megan. Take this and do something with it. It's been a while since we've given her a job to do.
I know, she texted us earlier with a job for us to do.
I
Can you believe
know.
the cheek of it.
I've blocked her. I thought, how dare you? We're the stars.
You'll have to unblock her now to get to tell
To get
her
her
what
to
to
do
do.
that. Yeah, I'll do it. Right, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening. Please drop us a follow on social medias, your Facebook, Instagram. We don't really use Twitter. I don't know if Manager Megan does, but we're on the others. Follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, I guess, because we're going to be banging this on there. Please, if you listen to us on Spotify or anything, please leave us some feedback or a review. 5 stars is obviously preferable. But say what you want. You know, we're all about feedback, whether it be good or bad. But get involved. Talk to us. Let us know. And if you ask me or Ryan a question on our social media, I'm telling you now, Megan will answer you as soon as she can. Have you got any final thoughts before we call it a day, my friend?
I've got nothing.
Good. And I'm not going to force you to say something random this week.
Wow, that's kind.
Because I miss you, mate. It's been a while since I've seen you. It's been like a whole week.
I know, it's been ages.
It has been ages.
It's sad.
So we'll call it there. We're sorry this episode was late, but whatever. We'll do what we want, don't we? Peace!
Yeah.